Big dogs, I built a competitive $40 budget Dinosaur Yu-Gi-Oh deck. There are some new cards from Battles of Legends Monsters Mayhem that I am excited about. The new Synchro monster, Jurrac Astro, not only allows you to be able to negate summons, but also can banish itself to be able to summon Jurrac Meteor, which is a freaking Nibiru the Primal Being. And the new Jurrac cards are actually really good at being able to support it. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my version of a Dinosaur deck that is under $40. So it is a really cheap deck, but also at its very best. Let's go ahead and jump on in. What's going on with y'all, big dogs? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. So I was genuinely thinking of making a series where I build Yu-Gi-Oh decks under certain restrictions. And this could technically be the first installment. You guys can call me Chef Cali. In fact, give me 1 second. Oh, looks like I do got it. Yeah. I'm gonna give me a real one. I'm gonna give me one of them Black Dads ones if I keep on cooking like this, cause y'all know. Hey, I got y'all. Y'all know I'm at that age. I'm at that age where you start wearing those weird sandals and have an obsession for the grill. Except this time I am cooking a really good dino deck. So if this is a series that you guys really want to see, I really need you guys to help me out here. Let me know down below in the comment section, what deck should I cook next? I'm eyeing Cyber Dragon because I actually think it's a lot better than I gave it credit. And let me know what are some restrictions to cooking that Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Dino is easily one of my favorite all-time Yu-Gi-Oh decks. So let's go ahead and jump on in so we can make this deck phenomenal. All right, big dog. So the key to be able to cook a Gordon Ramsay meal from just Chef Boyardee in a can is knowing your recipe. It is incredibly important to go in knowing exactly what we want to make. In this particular Dino deck, I want to make an explosive Dinosaur Yu-Gi-Oh deck that is built around the new cards Jurrac Astro and Jurrac Meteor. I think in order for this deck to be strong in 2025 right now, it's going to have to revolve around those new cards out of Battles of Legends Monsters Mayhem. And this deck pretty much does exactly just that. And before I get into the profile, you're probably wondering, where exactly did I get this lovely map from? Well, I got the answers for you. You can only get this map from TheCaliEffect.com, and I have it on pre-order. I want to be 100% specific that I'm telling you pre-order. You're gonna have to wait a little bit. So go ahead and get your Lost World mats today. Once they sell out, they're gonna be sold out until we get more Dino support. And now that we're here cooking, the most important Jurrac monsters are 3 copies of Jurrac Stego, 3 copies of Jurrac Megalo, and 2 copies of Jurrac Aleo. I decided to go with this ratio because Jurrac Stego's main effect is to be able to get these Jurrac monsters to your side of the field. And while I do mind having a Jurrac Aleo in my hand, having Jurrac Megalo is not a bad idea. This card is the new 1-card combo to be able to summon Jurrac Astro to your side of the field. The only drawback is that when you activate the effect of Stego, you are locked into Dinosaur monsters for the duration of the turn. It means that monsters like Evilsaur, Logia, and Dalka no longer become accessible. But in return, you have a card that destroys a card on the field, which is pretty big, and also gets you a 1-card combo into your most important card for the entire deck. Of course, I complement that Jurrac line with 3 copies of Jurrac Volcano and 1 copy of Jurrac Impact. There are scenarios where you can special summon multiple copies of Jurrac Astro to your side of the field, and it can set multiple Jurrac spell and trap cards. It's not once per turn. And then there's also situations where you already have Jurrac Volcano, and Jurassic Impact actually fits the theme of what we're trying to do. Most Yu-Gi-Oh strategies cannot handle their board being wiped multiple times in a turn. Between Astro, Impact, and other cards, we're going to make sure our opponent never establishes a board and stays in the Jurassic period. Now, one thing I want to say about this Dinosaur deck is that it's going to be different from other Dinosaur decks in the past. I've told you guys this time after time again, you always have to challenge the ideologies that you had in previous deck builds. This particular Dinosaur deck is all about summoning Jurrac Astro. It is hands down the best Dinosaur extra deck card that we've had of all time. And with that being said, this deck is built around it, and that's why when we go to the Dinosaur monsters, I only play 2 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. Let's face it, This card is easily one of the best generic dinosaur cards in the game, but unfortunately, this card by itself does not get it into our full combo. In fact, without playing additional bricks, this card does absolutely nothing for us when it comes to getting into our combo. On top of that, I always preach inside of a 40-esque card Yu-Gi-Oh deck, you should have 5 normal summons to prevent you from breaking. Anything over kind of puts you over the top. With those 2 things in mind, I decided to cut Oviraptor down to 2. Now, I also made another huge concession for this deck. I also don't play Animadorned Archosaur. If you guys wanted to play Animadorned Archosaur alongside a double evolution pill, then you could justify bumping the Soul Eating Oviraptor to 3. In fact, Soul Eating Oviraptor can get you in a combo if you normal summon it, use its effect to add Misc, discard the Misc, and then activate its effect to summon Animadorn. But there's actually quite a few problems with that. Animadorned Archosaur itself is a brick. Double Evolution Pill is a brick as well. Those are 2 additional bricks that you have to play on top of opening the Soul Eating Oviraptor and the Baby Sarasaurus just to get into a mundane version of the combo. From here, there's 3 copies of Baby Sarasaurus, 1 copy of Xenomaterius, 1 Kaito Terra, which detonates the polymerization in your deck. These are the 2 cards that I cut out Animadorn for, 1 copy of Miscellaneous Saris, and 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Allow me to explain. So like I said before, when testing with the Animadorn thing, it ate up a normal summon and you needed Baby Sarasaurus to be able to get full power for it. Well, with Kaito Terra and Polymerization, you can actually fusion summon into Hornsaurus, which gets you into your Jurrac Volcano, which gets you into full combo. Also, Kaito Terra is a monster that you can special summon to the side of the field when you banish it, whether it's through the effects of your Jurrac Astro, maybe Miscellaneous Saris, and other cards, which allows you to be able to get Polymerization again. And Kaito Terra as a summon to be able to get Polymerization to get you Hornsaurus gives you an additional normal summon too. That actually can come in handy when you're trying to bait out cards and you force your opponent to use their effects. Then you can normal summon monsters like your Jurrac Stego to continue playing. There's actually so many crazy combos with this card, and I'll be showing you some pretty cool ones that will maybe change your mind on how good this is for this deck. But outside of that, everything is pretty much standard. I do think that the Xeno is necessary, the normal monster is not. And Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is needed at 2 because this deck absolutely sucks after turn 1. If you set up your entire board full combo and you make multiple copies of Jurrac Astros, when you start nibbing the field, keep in mind, you started to nib the field. You need a legitimate closer for this deck to actually finish off the game, and Ultimate Conductor Tyranno feels mandatory at least 2. For the consistency, there's 3 copies of Grand Xeno and 3 copies of Fossil Dig. Keep in mind, Grand Xeno not only allows you to be able to search the Xenomaterius and destroy Baby Sarasaurus, it can actually even search your Jurrac Alios and your Megalos, which this actually does come up at certain times in the late game or when you need a monster to be able to freely special summon to the side of the field through Megalo. It's actually pretty good. From here, I went off with the disruptive cards. There's 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being, 3 copies of Troll and Lockbird, 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of Book of Moon, and 1 copy of Called by the Grave. Like normal, Dinos is not a deck that can play a ton of hand traps. So I went with the hand traps that could force my opponent to make half boards. And Ash Blossom and Joy Spring is really for Molchummy Flawless more than anything else. To be honest, you can cut the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring for something like Lightning Storms, Harpy's Feather Dusters, Dark Hole. Dark Holes are actually really good. Pretty much whatever you want. The only thing that I say you should not cut by any means necessary is the Book of Eclipse and the Called by the Grave. Your Jurrac Stego can destroy face down cards. So if you activate Stego and your opponent changes a card like Imperm or something, you can Book of Moon your Stego and still destroy and keep comboing. It's also a decently solid board breaker this format. But that's it for the main board. The extra deck is, I'm going to be keeping a bean with you. More often than not, these are the only real cards you're going to be summoning from your deck. Jurrac Astro, Jurrac Meteor, and the Jurrac Velafido, because you need this to get into the Astro. Oh, and the Hornsaurus, you're going to summon this card a lot. One thing I want to emphasize on you again, guys, is that when you activate the effect of Jurrac Stego, you are locked into only summoning dinosaur monsters for the rest of the turn. This means that cards like your Evilsaur Dolka and your Evilsaur Lars are not really summonable unless you're popping off with combo, which ironically Hornsaurus can help you make Evilsaur Lars, and there's some cool combos in there that let you do it. From there, I do play the Guardian Chimera because that does come up sometimes. Sometimes in the later grind states, you have random cards on their field in hand and you can just make a Guardian Chimera because you got free polymerizations. Plus, There aren't any good dinosaur fusion monsters. Wink wink, Konami, get to work. There's the Steam Sabersaurus, the Typhon, the SP Little Knight, and I decided to play for fun, the Transcendosaurus Glaciosaurus. Now, the cool thing about this deck, the important cards will bring you up to $40, which is amazing. You don't necessarily need cards like SP Little Knight. Ash Blossom is about $1 last time I checked. The same thing with Nibs and Drolls. Same thing with Book of Eclipse. The only real expensive card in your deck, which I think is pretty cool, is Ground Xeno. Ground Xeno is the most expensive card out of the entire deck with $6 each. Everything else in this deck is under $6 significantly. Of course, my version of the deck is high rarity, like when a chef cooks on the show and it looks amazing. And I'm not saying that you guys can't make yours look amazing too, but I'm telling you the same formula works. Whether it's low rarity, high rarity, it does not matter, big dogs. Play whatever you want to the heart's content, and I hope you do amazing with dinos. Let me know if you do and how well you're doing, or if some of my ideas have rubbed off on you and you want to try out. But let's go ahead and talk about the combos, big dog. There is a basic combo, then the Kaito Terra combos I want to show you guys. This deck has so many ways to go full combo, it's kind of cool. All right, big dog, so we'll start off with the very basic combo, just Jurrac Stego, so you know exactly what we're doing with this deck. What we're gonna do is we're gonna normal summon Jurrac Stego and then use its effect, destroying itself to send a dinosaur monster from our deck to the graveyard and summon monsters according to its level. Now, a lot of players send Mist to the graveyard and it is not incorrect, but I want to show you the combos where you don't have to send Mist to the graveyard. That way you can add it to your hand off of cards like Fossil Dig, so you can protect your plays from cards like Effect Veiler, Imperm, stuff like that. So we're going to destroy to be able to special summon 4 monsters to our side of the field. There's the Megalo. Always summon 2 Alos, 2 Megalos here, because the first Alo will summon back the Stego, then we'll Synchro Summon, not using the Alo, into the Jurrac Velociraptor. From there, you use the Alo again to be able to summon back your Jurrac Stego, and that makes 10 for your Jurrac monster, your Jurrac Astro. Your Jurrac Astro can set the Jurrac Impact here, or if you guys wanted to go further, you could set the Jurrac Volcano, and you still have Misk in your graveyard to be able to summon like Baby Sarasaurus. And depending on your combo sequence, you can go a little further. You could use Misk to banish 4 monsters from your graveyard, like so. Summon Soul Eating Oviraptor to your side of the field. Use the Soul Eating Oviraptor to be able to add from your deck to your hand the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. So your board could pretty much look something like this if you wanted to make it, but I would prefer, to be honest, just this, because this is pretty much 3 interruptions. This is a summon negation, this is a blow up the entire field, and then you can banish this card alongside of another dinosaur monster to summon out your Jurrac Meteor to your side of the field and blow up again, all while having Misk in the graveyard to summon your Soul Eating on the next turn and follow up with some more plays. So that's how I would play the very basic combo. But if you guys want to get really cool with the combos, if we're opening something like Baby Sarasaurus and Ground Xeno, the combos do get amazing. From here, we can use our Ground Xeno to add from our decks to our hand our Xeno Materius, and then destroy our Baby Sarasaurus, triggering the effect of our Baby Sarasaurus and our Xeno Materius, summoning this monster to our side of the field, and also summoning our Soul Eating. Probably the only time where Soul Eating, or one of the few times where Soul Eating comes into combo, but since this is a 2-card combo, most of the time Soul Eating does get you in a full combo when it's 2 cards. Soul Eating's effect will then add a Baby Sarasaurus from your deck to your hand, and then you're gonna normal summon that Baby Sar, use Soul Eating to destroy the Baby Sar, summon your first Baby Sar, and now this Baby Sarasaurus will activate. A lot of people would think that this is where you summon your Stego. You actually don't. You summon your Kaito Terra to your side of the field, and then use its effect to be able to get polymerization from your deck to your hand. From here, you actually have multiple routes. You can fuse your Kaito Terra and your Soul Eating to be able to summon out your Horned Source, which gets you into your field spell and allows you to be able to Exceed summon into your Evil Lars. And field spell plus Baby Sarasaurus is full combo. You normally can use this when you have a card on the field that you feel that your opponent is going to threaten you with. But if you actually want to just go for a bigger board with monster interruptions, what you would do here is that you would use your Soul Eating or your Kaito Terra plus the Meteorus for a Synchro summon into your Jurrac Astro. Your Astro's effect allows you to be able to set your Jurrac Volcano to your side of the field. Jurrac Volcano can destroy the baby Ceratosaurus to be able to special summon out to your side of the field that Jurrac Stego, and then baby Ceratosaurus can summon out your second copy of Jurrac Stego using both of these monsters for an Xseed summon into your Evilsaur Dolka. This way you have two monster disruptions alongside of the Jurrac Stego. Maybe use this if you're scared of something like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring and you know your opponent wants to stop the Stego. From here, our Stego combo is the same. Destroy the Stego, send a level 4 dinosaur monster from our deck to the side or to the graveyard, then summon out our 4 babies. One of our babies in Jurrac Aleo becomes the Stego, then our Megalo plus our Stego becomes the Velociraptor, then the Velociraptor or the Aleo becomes the Stego again, and then these monsters become a monster in itself into another Astro, which, like I said, cards not once per turn, you set the Jurrac Impact. In this situation, you have 2 Jurrac Astros on your field, which is really strong. Jurrac Impact to wipe the board, a double monster effect negation, and look at all of the dinosaurs. You actually did not use the effect of your miscellaneous Ceres, which again, that means you can use this card to add to your hand to protect your plays, or use this card for later on to be able to recover, and I'll show you a couple of ways how you can do that. Let's say, for example, we use both our effects to Dolka, that's 2 negations, both our effects of Jurrac Astro, so, you know, I'm not going to banish the dinosaurs, but you guys already know what to banish, and then we've used all of our card effects. The most important one is with our last Jurrac Astro. We banish itself and the Kaito Terra here. This allows us to be able to special summon to our side of the field a Meteor, and the Meteor allows us to be able to special summon the Attuner to our side of the field, which can be our Jurrac Aleo. Also keep in mind our Kaito Terra comes back on our starting turn. We actually have the Jurrac Aleo to be able to morph itself into anything we want. It can morph itself into a Stego so we can make a rank 4 play. Maybe we didn't Xseed summon into our Dolka here. Maybe we want to go into our Steam Ceres to be able to destroy a baby. It's really up to you, big dogs. It does not matter. But the most important thing here is that you get 2 dinosaur monsters to your side of the field, the ability to banish your mist to banish 4 more dinosaur monsters to summon out your Soul Eating, which means you can add any dinosaur monster from your deck to your hand. It does not matter because you can use Polymerization to make Guardian Chimera. It's one of my favorite cards to make. I love it, playing it in decks that I like to play it in. For the last thing I'm going to show you is the reason why Kaito Terra is just the craziest card. I think Kaito Terra is better than Animadorned Archosaur by a country mile, and it's mainly because of its level, its ability to be able to bring itself back, stuff like that. In this particular situation, this itself plus any dinosaur monster as opposed to Animadorned Archosaur is full combo. So you guys should already know all you have to do is summon the Kaito Terra, use the effect, get Polymerization. Ironically, if you start off with like a Ground Xeno or something and you have Kaito Terra, you can use Ground Xeno to fusion summon. We're not talking about that. Use the Polymerization, fuse that and the dinosaur for the Horn Source. Horn Source will get you into your Jurrac Volcano. That is the bread and butter of what this deck can do, and is the big reason why I think when we cook up a Yu-Gi-Oh deck, we value consistency over anything else. But allow me to add 1 card to the combo, just 1 card to the combo that Animadorned Archosaur would also require. With no breaks, we're just going to add Baby Ceratosaurus and use Horn Source's ability to normal summon the Baby Ceratosaurus to our side of the field. That means instead of Volcano destroying Horn Source, you can use Volcano to destroy Baby Ceratosaurus to be able to special out Jurrac Stego, and then Baby Ceratosaurus can special summon Soul Eating to our side of the field. For here, you have a few answers with Soul Eating. You can add Xenomaterius from your deck to your hand. You can add Mist to your hand to be able to further insulate your combo, or you can add an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno from your deck to your hand. Regardless of how you do it, to be honest, the card that you add from your deck to your hand is pretty inconsequential. Like, for example, if I don't fear card effects and I add Materius to my hand, I can use Soul Eating, destroy the Horn Source, summon back out the Kaito Terra, use the effect of Xeno to summon itself to the side of the field. I then have plenty of options here, but I like this option where you can use these 2 monsters for an Xseed summon into your Evilsaur Dolka before you activate the effect of Stego. Really good. Destroying the Stego allows you to be able to send the Mist to your graveyard, which then allows you to be able to summon your 4 goofy dinos back to your side of the field, and here they are. The difference here is just 1 Jurrac Aleo turns itself into the Stego, and Meteorus plus the Stego can be used for a Synchro summon into that Jurrac Astro. Now, the thing that I've admired about this Yu-Gi-Oh deck is that it has quite the few crazy ways to keep playing, because the Astro will allow you to be able to set the trap card, Jurrac or Fossil Jurrac Impact Deers out of the field. Aleo will allow you to be able to tribute itself to summon out your Stego back. You can then synchro summon into 5, where that Velociraptor comes into play here, big dog. Summon that Velociraptor to your side of the field. And then Miss can banish itself alongside of 4 other dinosaur monsters, 2, 3, 4, to summon any dinosaur monster from your deck. Now, that dinosaur monster can be the Stego, which allows you to be able to synchro summon back into a second copy of your Jurrac Astro. So just that little combo, big dogs, got us into this particular situation. Dolka double Astro here with the Volcano and the Jurassic Impact. Big dog, just like my granny, spaghetti, fried chicken, cornbread, collard greens, and black-eyed peas. There's multiple dishes that you could be making. And to be honest with you, there are multiple acceptable ways to make that dish. Unless you're putting corn in cornbread, you're probably doing all right. But as a world-class Yu-Gi-Oh chef, this is a $40 competitive budget version of Dino, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Let me know down below in the comment section, what do you think about this version of Dino? If I should cook that Cyber Dragon deck up next, and also look at these videos so I can catch you on the next one.